The problem of human beings is that we feel we are disconnected from existence. We are an individual. Okay. And what is our all the human journey like? Human journey is always about becoming more than an individual. It starts with gaining more knowledge. Okay. Gaining more knowledge makes you more powerful individual. Getting wealth makes you feel expanded. Becoming more than one, which is having a family, then reproducing and creating another, multiplying. So somehow the thought process is only to expand. Okay, constantly you want to expand, be more than what you are. This more than what you are, you're trying because you think you're a body, you're always thinking in terms of solidity. So if you ask some normal person what you want to be, I want to be successful, meaning what? I want to have a big house, I want to have a big car, I want to have a lot of people who love me. Okay, I want to have a lot of money. Everything is very concrete. Okay, and all these things, object 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's a addition to me. So I am one, plus you add one house, which is an object, plus you add one big car or two cars or three cars or four cars or five houses or this much land or this much gold and this many people, this much knowledge. Okay, this much experiences, travel and whatnot. So all these objects, all addition plus me is what I aspire for. Simply because without those objects, I feel incomplete. Now the problem is how much ever object you add to you as a subject will not fulfill a human being. So that is why, that is what history proves. History is about all people who tried all sorts of things to add to their subjectivity, to add objects to their subject, but were unfulfilled. Simply because you're not making the connection in the right way. If you have a computer, you want to connect to the Wi-Fi, you just have to find the right thing that is available. If you try to connect to the wrong thing, it will not connect. So, is there a way I can connect to my source? Okay. Is there a way that I can connect to my source? And what is my source? My source is existence. Is there a way I can connect to existence? Or because I feel I am disconnected, is there a way I can feel connected? To say that to connect to existence is to say that you are disconnected, which you are not. But since you have a feeling that I'm disconnected, is there a way I can connect back to existence? Now, if I connect back to existence, what is the value for me? What is in it for me? What happens if I connect back to existence? The same thing happens of what happened when you had a physical connection with the mother through the umbilical cord. What happened to the child when it had a physical connection? It was taken care of. The child doesn't need to struggle. The child doesn't need to ask. The child doesn't need to do anything. Everything that is required for the child is taken care of by that intelligence. Similarly, when you connect to the totality, whatever is required for your life will come together. Okay. You have a deep sense that I am taken care of. The same thing happened in the life of Mata Amritandamayi. Because at a very young age, she was experiencing the divine, always doing bhajans, sitting in meditation, focusing more on totality. And it started attracting many people. People used to come, bow down to her. She used to bless them. This made the family very uncomfortable. Okay. And they wanted to get her married. And she said, I'll never get married. If I have to marry, I'll just give away my life. So eventually, she had to leave the home because the family felt she was creating too much trouble. And she was fearless. She had the feeling that the divine will take care of me. So she was, you can imagine, a young girl on the streets, lost in the divine, lost in divine trance. So every day, a cow used to come, and wherever she was meditating, a cow used to come and give her milk. Okay, there were birds who used to come and drop fish for her to eat. So the existence takes care of you. How you leave it to the existence. Okay, the what you have to do is get that connection back, or recognize that the connection is there. So this is the practice. The practice is using your the higher centers, which is Sahasrara and Agna. Through the Agna chakra, you're establishing an energy connection, which is already there. Rather, you're becoming aware of what is there. You are connected through to the universal intelligence. The star on the other side, the light on the other side, represents totality, Ishvara, existence. You can visualize it as Sadguru, or your Ishtadevata, or Ishvara, or Divine Mother, or totality, existence, Bhagavan. Okay, and this is how you make the connection. This is the first step. Deeper focus, and the more time you spend, it opens up a lot of other energies, insights in general about yourself and totality. But right now, we will focus on one thing, which is Atma Gnan. So this is one way. The second part now that we are going to do is to communicate to the totality. So you always communicate to God. People communicate to God. They pray, they go to temple, they have some thought, and you're always talking to God, which is praying, and you have a notion that Lord is hearing you. No doubt, the Lord is hearing you, but most of the time your thoughts are confused. You say something, but you want something else. So what is that you desire? We will clearly send it across to totality, so the totality can immediately respond to it. Okay, so this brings a challenge to become clear of what you want. So are you clear of what you want? Dina, what do you want?
Oh, not really. I'm not very clear.
You're not very clear. Okay. Sonali ji, आप सुन रहे हैं? Okay. Pallavi ji,
Yes, Krishna ji.
what do you want?
No, it is in my mind. I will not tell you.
Okay, but you know what you want. Okay.
Yes.
Prasad ji?
Will you make us do some practice now?
Yeah, so that is what. This is the second part of the practice. This is not complete yet. The first part was only to establish the connection. Okay. Now the second part is to use the connection. So after you set up the connection, radio 1, radio 2, you have to send some message and receive the message. So now is the second part where you send the message and receive the message. Okay. Now, what I'm practically saying is, if somebody gave you a phone, handed you a phone, and told you God is on the other side, what would you say? Will you say something? Will you ask? What will you do? Prasad ji?
End of drama,
Huh?
Krishna ji. End of drama is what I want.
End of the drama.
End of
You want
end of the
God
play.
to
End of the
end
play.
the drama. Okay.
End all of the play.
End all of the drama. Okay. For you or for everybody?
I think if it is, there's only I'm quite convinced that everything is appearing in me.
Yeah. Okay.
Based on the practices that you have taught.
So your
So I
desire
think-
is, I don't want any more illusion, maya.
Illusion. Yes.
Okay, that's called mumukshatva, the desire for mukti, or in other words, the desire to be disillusioned completely. So that is called the highest desire, the mother of all desires. So very good. You want to ask the biggest thing that you can ask. सोनाली जी,
जी
आपने अभी तक समझा मैंने क्या बोला?
हाँ हाँ
हाँ, आप रहे थे जब मैंने प्रैक्टिस शुरू किया?
हाँ हाँ मैं थी।
तो आपने किया, क्या हुआ?
जी मैं लाइट, कुछ मुझे लाइट फील हुआ, जो बस लाइट ही दिखा, मतलब पहले तो अंधेरा था, फिर कुछ लाइट दिखा मुझे, फिर उसके बाद वो कंटिन्यू नहीं हुआ, फिर अंधेरा हो जाता है, फिर लाइट, वैसा ही कुछ बस।
तो जो आप लाइट देख रहे हैं, आपको जितना
हाँ।
दूर हो सके ना उतना दूर देखना है। ओके? तो माइंड क्या है? माइंड इतना पावरफुल है, आप जितना दूर जा सकते हैं जाओ, और जितना दूर हो सके यहाँ से देखो। तो ये क्या है? ये प्रैक्टिस जो है ये बहुत पुराना और आध्यात्म का एक हाईएस्ट ऑर्डर का प्रैक्टिस है। okay? इस क्रिया से क्या होता है? मनुष्य को भगवान का अनुभूति होता है, उसे हम सविकल्प समाधि कहते हैं। सविकल्प समाधि जो है वही ये समाधि है, ऐसा है कि आपको भाव आता है कि मैं ब्रह्मांड से जुड़ा हूं और ब्रह्मांड मेरे साथ है। जो भी मैं पूछूंगा, इच्छा करूंगा या बताऊंगा या चाहूंगा, वो होगा। और उससे भी बढ़ के क्या होगा? मुझे भगवान का अनुभव होगा सामान्य जीवन में, जहां भी है, काम में है या घर में है, जो जहां भी है, वहां आपको लोनलीनेस नहीं होगा। आपको ऐसा फीलिंग होगा कि मैं जुड़ा हुआ हूं भगवान से। okay? यही है प्रैक्टिस है। इट्स कॉल्ड सविकल्प समाधि। दिस सविकल्प समाधि practice will lead to this practice will lead to Savikalpa Samadhi, which is called God realization. The realization that I am not an individual, that I am a part of the whole, and you will experience the whole. The whole can be experienced because experiences involves the whole. Right now, what you have experienced as a human being is a very limited experience. Okay, it is limited because you're depending on your sense organs. You're depending on your eyes to see, you're depending on your ears to hear, you're depending on your touch to feel the world. But when you keep the sense instrument aside and go to the higher instrument, the third eye is called a higher instrument. It's like this, let's say you want to see something microscopic. You cannot see with your eyes. You need a higher instrument, like a microscope. You want to see at another planet. You cannot see with your eyes. You need a telescope. Correct? So that means it's there, but you are not able to perceive it. Now, does a human being have higher instruments to perceive apart from the sense organs?
fourth eye, third eye, sorry.
हाँ, मनुष्य के पास और इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स हैं, and that higher instrument is called the third eye and the sahasrara, top of the head. These two are called the divine instruments. This is called Brahmarandra. This is called Agna Chakra. When you perceive the world with these centers, then there is no more, with the senses you feel, this is me, that is not me. With the third eye, when you see, you feel, that is me, this is me. Everything is me. Everything is, I am connected to everything. Okay. So what is the result of this experience? What is the result of experience of that is not me, this is me? It's fear. Okay, that is not me, this is me, creates fear. That is me, this is me. What is the result of that experience? ये मैं हूं, वो मैं नहीं हूं. इसका अनुभव क्या होता है? फियर होता है. आपको फियर है, ओ वो मेरे से ज्यादा है, मैं उससे कम हूं, वो क्या बोलेगा. So the duality creates fear. Now, if you are able to experience the connection between the seer and the seen, what is the experience, Pallavi?
There's no duality.
What is the
There's just me everywhere.
What is the outcome of that?
There's no fear.
What is the absence of fear called?
Bliss, happiness.
Bliss, happiness, and pure love.
Pure
This
love.
is me, that is not me, is fear. That is me, this is me, everything is me, creates overflowing love for the world. That is the state of a Gnani. In a Gnani, there is no duality. So the Gnani has overflowing love for totality. And that is why the Gnani acts. So Krishna is pure love. The entire life of Sri Krishna is, his life is filled with action, selfless action. That is me, this is me, that is not me, creates selfish action because I have to protect me. That is me, this is me, everything is me, leads to selfless action. That's called enlightened action. Okay, so, and the beginning is this practice, that the next step that I'm taking you through is the practice for God realization. But today we'll specifically do it with a sankalpa. Okay, you can just become aware and just stay in that silence. That itself will open up many doors. But today we'll put it to some utility value. We'll extract something from it. So that's why I asked the desire that you have. तो सोनाली जी, आपको क्या डिजायर है? भगवान उस तरफ है फोन कॉल का, क्या चाहिए आपको? पीस. ओके, तो शांति चाहिए, आनंद चाहिए, और वो शांति और आनंद हमेशा चाहिए, आज नहीं, राइट? वो हमेशा रहना है. अगर वो कल चला गया तो प्रॉब्लम है, फिर से पूछना है आपको. ठीक है, तो क्या चाहिए आपको? अनंत शांति चाहिए.
अनंत शांति.
Peace that does not end. Okay, you want end of the illusion, end of the suffering. You want something to end and something not to end. Okay, you want the suffering to end, the illusion to end, the maya to end, and you want the peace, love, and peace, shanti, and bliss not to end. Is this all clear to everybody? Are we all on the same page?
Yes.
Krishna ji, when you do this practice, can you briefly do the earlier one that you did to get the connection, please?
Okay, we'll start from the beginning. Okay, so is the sankalpa clear for everybody? What is the sankalpa?
Yes.
So we'll make the sankalpa positive. Okay, we'll not say I don't want suffering. If you have infinite peace, how does it matter? And that means that there is no suffering. Okay. So let us understand what we're asking. We're asking for infinite peace, infinite bliss, and Atma Gnana. Okay. Gnana, Shanti, Ananda, and Prema, love. 4 things. Gnana, which is wisdom, Atma Gnana. Shanti, which is everlasting, deep inner peace. Unperturbed, undisturbed peace in any situation of life. Okay. Then Ananda, a sense of infinity. Ananda and Prema, love. So these 4 are actually the qualities of Brahman, Bhagwan. So what you're seeking is, to say it in another language, to dissolve in Bhagwan. Is that a right thing to say? So God is on the other end. So you are saying, God, I want peace, bliss, infinite peace, bliss, love, and wisdom, Atma Gnana. So what you're actually indirectly saying is, I want you. Is it clear? I want you, and I want to merge in you, dissolve in you. Like a salt doll. There's a salt doll that goes to the ocean and it dissolves in the ocean. After that, where is the salt doll? Sonali ji?
जी.
एक सॉल्ट डॉल है. सॉल्ट डॉल समझते हैं आप? नमक का एक पुतला है. वो समुद्र के पास जाके समुद्र में चला जाता है. उसके बाद उसको ढूंढ सकते हैं क्या आप?
No.
It merges with the ocean, right?
Yeah.
So the highest desire, and this is the purpose of life, this is the purpose of all sadhana, all shravana, all yoga, bhakti, kriya, gnana, everything is that the individual dissolves in Brahman. Think of the light on the other end as Bhagwan, and you're sending the message. What message? I want to dissolve in you. You understand? Everybody is clear of the message? Does anybody want to change the message?
मुक्ति मतलब मुक्ति.
हाँ, मुक्ति. वो मुक्ति क्या है, वो उसके बाद क्या होगा, वो भगवान को छोड़ दीजिए. आपका इच्छा सिर्फ ये है कि मुझे शांत होना है. वो शांत होने के लिए मुझे वो भगवान के साथ ऐक्य होना है. जब तक मेरा मन ऐसा ही है, मैं शांत नहीं होगा, तो मन को आपको अर्पण करना है भगवान में. आपने बहुत कुछ अर्पण किया, फ्लावर्स अर्पण किया, फ्रूट्स अर्पण किया, पैसा अर्पण किया, मन को अर्पण किया. अभी
कोशिश किया.
हाँ, कोशिश आप ऐसा है कि आप कोशिश गलत तरीके से करें भी तो वो फल नहीं देगा. तो यहाँ कोशिश नहीं है, यहाँ कनेक्शन है और एफर्ट नहीं है और क्लियर इच्छा है कि मुझे क्या चाहिए, वो आपको भेजना है. तो अब क्या करेंगे, हम फिर से कनेक्शन एक्सपीरियंस करेंगे. विल एक्सपीरियंस द कनेक्शन अगेन. आई विल टेक यू थ्रू इट and then we will send the message or send the desire. It's called sankalpa or ichha to the light on the other end and also experience the blessing back. Shall we do that now? Okay. Have the highest, greatest ideal for yourself, which is to have absolute freedom, the kind that is there in the Sadguru, the kind that is there in the enlightened beings like Buddha, Ramana Maharshi, or Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. What they have, aspire for the highest, and the highest anybody can have is Brahmagnana, Atmagnana, Brahmanubhuti. That is your Ichcha. And it is a conscious Ichcha. Have that conscious Ichcha, Sankalpa, desire. And the second part to it, you are going to communicate, commune, connect to the highest. Know that it's not your imagination, not a concept, not a creation of your mind, not a dream. It is Bhagavan. It is totality. It is Brahman. Have the reverence, devotion, knowledge of the one on the other end. Let us begin. Close your eyes. Keep your back straight, spine straight, and tilt your head slightly. Become aware of the Agna Chakra, the center of the forehead. Visualize the energy, as if the energy from throughout your body is moving and collecting in the center of the forehead as a ball of light. Imagine the energy from throughout your body in the form of light moving from the bottom, from your legs, from your hands, from your stomach, from your heart, from your throat, and moving toward the center of the forehead and forming a ball of light. Now the ball of light also has your desire for Brahmanubhuti, Paroksha Anubhuti, Atma Gnana, Param Shanti, and Ananda. Now watch the light, watch the ball of light move from the center of your forehead to the star at a great distance in space. See the star at a great distance through your Agna Chakra. And see the ball of light that you sent merge into the light at the distance. Keep your attention now on the light at a great distance. Just watch it through the center of your forehead. Now, the light comes back from the great light at the distance. Receive all that light. It's coming back in the same path and coming back to the center of your forehead and the top of your head. Visualize as much light as possible. Koti Surya Samaprabha, the light of 1,000 suns falling on you, sent back to you from the great light to the center of your forehead. Narayana. Narayana. Visualize your whole body filled with divine light. The whole room that you're in filled with light. There are no objects, no world, only light. And that light is God, Bhagavan, Narayana. Bring your attention now to the center of your forehead. Oh. Slowly open your eyes. Veena?
Actually, I didn't feel like opening my eyes. It was very beautiful. And there was a smile on my face throughout. I don't know how it happened. It just came.
Okay, so you don't smile at all.
Actually, I don't smile much, but today while doing, it was there always.
So when you meet, you observe that when you meet a child, you smile spontaneously.
Yeah.
Same thing happens when you meet God.
Yeah. It was something like that.
Okay. Sonali ji,
जी
क्या हुआ?
कुछ लाइट फील हो रहा है मुझे हल्का
आपने देखा? Oh, were you able to visualize the light coming back to you?
या
What happens?
जैसे फूलझड़ी से जैसे नहीं होता है उस टाइप का मुझे फील हुआ कि कुछ लाइट ऊपर से लाइक
Very nice.
मेरे ऊपर जैसे आया.
Very nice. Prasad ji?
Very, very peaceful, Krishna ji. I felt like I was in space actually, with a lot of light.
Yeah. That is the reality. Okay. Everything else is just a creation of the mind. But the mind's creation is so much that you have to use the mind to create this and forget the illusion. Ulta. So the reality is light, because Brahman is light. It's called Param Jyoti. And I am Atma Jyoti. I'm the same light. It's like there is space and you point at one place, it's space. In the same way, there's whatever you point at, it's only Param Jyoti. The pointed place is called Atma Jyoti. Pallavi ji?
I visualized the light ball that you said to send it away and bring it back. And yeah, I was visualizing that. And then I was inside the light. The room was filled with light and light.
Okay. So any questions? Anybody? If the question is, okay, this is fine, now what I have to do? Whenever there's a question, you again take back your attention to the Ajna chakra. Whenever in your day-to-day life, whenever possible, even for a few moments, close your eyes, take back the attention to the Ajna chakra and come back to work. Okay, so more you move from living in illusion to living in reality, and this is the pathway. The gnana is, none of this is actually required because nothing has changed. You are Brahman, you are the light, you are the source, you are Bhagwan. Any doubts? So it's like this: you are the reality, you are the highest, but you think yourself to be something else. It's like madness. What is madness? What is madness? Veena, what is madness? What person do you call mad?
Actually, I think I am only mad.
You're only mad. Why?
When I look at my family, I think they're all, I'm the only one who is doing all absurd things.
Absurd things. So somebody who does absurd things is mad?
Yeah, in relation to them, I mean, they're all leading their normal life, or only bothered about work, earning money. And,
That is normal life.
I think I'm a little weird compared to the rest of my family.
Why? What is the definition of madness? Sonali ji, पागलपन क्या है? अब बोलती है ना, ये पागल है क्या? Means what? What is the meaning of pagal, madness? पागलपन देखा है आपने?
जो बे मतलब का कोई चीज क्रेजी होना, जो पॉसिबल नहीं है उस चीज के लिए,
वो पागलपन है? What is madness? Pallavi ji, what is madness?
Probably I'm trying to achieve something which is not required at all because I'm already Brahman. Although knowing this by knowledge,
Yeah.
I'm still trying to do something more which is not required.
That is
So which is madness.
Okay. Ji, what is madness? Have you seen mad people in the world?
I think uncontrolled imagination.
Uncontrolled imagination, right? So man, I'll tell you a story of madness. Nehru ji went to visit a madhouse, mental hospital. Okay, because he had invested in it. They had invited him as a chief guest. He goes there. He has a look around. It's been operational for a while. A lot of mad people inside. People are crazy. People are seeing things, talking to the wall, singing. Somebody is seeing God. So many kinds of people are there. People shouting, people screaming, dancing. Okay, all sorts of mad people he saw. Then he came out. There was a park outside. There's a lawn and there's a chair, seating area, and there was a gentleman sitting there. He looked very clean, very calm, elderly gentleman. So Nehruji goes and sits next to him, and he tells him, this person doesn't get up. He doesn't, acknowledge him. Then he understands, okay, maybe he doesn't know who I am. So he introduces himself. I am Nehru. I am the politician. I have done all these things. This is my position. He talks about himself. This man just smiles. He listens to him. He doesn't say anything. Then Nehruji thinks, okay, this person must be really high accomplished, must be very, very wise, because he's not reacting. He's so nice and gentle and calm. He must be a very intelligent man, right? Usually intelligent people and very powerful people don't speak too much. He doesn't speak much. He nods. He's very calm. No matter what he says, he doesn't get. There's no reaction. He doesn't jump out of his seat the moment he hears this guy is such a powerful person. He's okay, fine. Then Nehru now he's getting worried. Who is this person? He must be more powerful than me. Okay. Then he tells him more. I have done this. I try to impress him. Then the man finally opens his mouth. He says, "Dear child, don't worry. You have come to the right place. Few years ago, I also came here thinking I am Mahatma Gandhi. You think you're Nehru. After some time, you'll be fine. Don't worry. Stay here. They'll give you good treatment." Okay, they gave me good treatment. Now it's been few years. Now I can go home. Now I understand who I am. Okay. Madness is to think I am something else. Okay. To take something that is unreal to be real. Okay. It is not to see something unreal. Like you see a movie, it is unreal. But that's not madness. To watch a movie is not madness. You're seeing something unreal. Just because I see something unreal doesn't mean I'm mad. But you watch the same movie, start thinking it is real, then it's madness. You understand? Does that happen to you? You see something unreal and you take it to be real. Does that happen in your life? It happens in dreams. Dream is unreal. You see the dream, you experience the dream, but you take it to be real. Okay? That means throughout the experience of dream, you are a mad person. You are not sane because you are taking that which is unreal to be real. Now, the problem is you're doing the exact same thing in the waking state. In the waking state, it's also like a dream. Okay, just because you're seeing the waking state, Maya is not madness. To see the Maya is not madness. But to take the Maya to be real is the madness. Okay, when you start thinking this is real, this is absolute, then there's a problem. It's like this, there's an actor. Okay, the scene is he's on the street, he's begging, he's crying. The actor is fully involved and there is action like that. He's speaking the words, he's doing everything. Is he mad? No, because he knows this is unreal. Let's say for some reason he forgets who he is. He's an actor. Then he starts behaving like that. Then you call him mad. Because now he's thinking what is unreal to be real. Do you understand? So madness is whatever is unreal, I'm giving reality to it. Okay? And when I give reality to it, it changes my behavior. And when that behavior, people around you, when they cannot handle that behavior, they put you into mental hospital. Okay? As long as your behavior is tolerable, you're tolerant, you're in the society. Now, the problem is you are in a place where everybody is giving reality to what is unreal. That's why it becomes very difficult to distinguish between what is real, what is unreal, what is madness, what is normal. Simple example, you take killing animals for food as acceptable because everybody is doing it. You understand? Some point of time in the future, maybe the society evolves so much that they say, okay, no, it's unacceptable. Then people who are still accept that are secluded as mad. Okay, just another example, that few thousand years ago or 100 years ago in some parts of the world, enslaving somebody else is okay, acceptable. Now if somebody does that, you call them as deranged, mad, and they're put into prison or mental hospital. So we live in a world where it's full of, the entire world is mad. So Ramakrishna Paramahamsa met a yogini, a guru. She was a lady. One of his close associations took him to her because he used to experience God. He goes to her, he bows down, he says, "Ma, people call me mad. Am I mad?" Okay. And the Divine Mother, the Guru said, "Yes, you are mad. But don't worry. The whole world is mad. Somebody is mad for money. Somebody is mad for women. Somebody is mad for power. Somebody is mad for something else. You are mad for God. That's the only difference. But your madness is closer to reality. People that see you are mad, but they think you are mad because you are asking to see something that is real. The moment you start seeking reality, you are going against the stream of current of society, because society is constantly moving towards unreality, Maya, more and more and deeper and deeper and deeper into Maya, multiple layers of illusion, okay, which to understand itself is so impossible. Okay, and the moment somebody starts to go out of this, out of the dream, that person obviously starts appearing insane. Okay, that's why in many cultures, the moment somebody starts moving towards Bhagwan, that person is killed. So Jesus gets crucified simply because he appears mad. In fact, he is seeing reality. He is able to see what is truth. But the moment you're able to see what is truth, all the people who are seeing untruth will destroy you. So madness is to see and give reality, not to see. Seeing is fine. But the moment you give reality to it and take it to be real, that is madness. So are you mad or are you sane? What do you give reality to? The reality is Brahman, is Sat, Chit, Ananda. The reality is deathlessness. The reality is peace. The reality is divine. So whenever you experience suffering, you're in a state of madness. You're experiencing suffering because you are giving reality to something that is unreal.
Krishna ji,
Yeah.
now Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, okay, he was experiencing very high level of integrity with God. He was able to see God and all that.
Yeah.
So, because he gave reality to that happened more and more. And if he hadn't given reality to that, that will slowly disappear automatically. So he will have to give reality to, if he is trying to talk to God, see God, or trying to experience God, all that. So he will have to, one will have to give reality to, if they are trying to see God like that, right? Otherwise, otherwise the person will automatically get pulled into the Maya, right?
So that is a spiritual journey. The spiritual journey is moving towards reality. Moving towards reality means, how can you move? You cannot physically move because you are in reality. Moving your mind towards reality. That is called Brahmacharya. Have you heard the word called Brahmacharya? What is Brahmacharya? Brahmacharya means Brahmani Charitam Manasam. Making my mind move consciously towards Brahman, to reality. Okay, that is Brahmacharya is a sadhana where there's an effort required, because the pull is madness. The pull is the environment around is giving reality to what is unreality. First, I need guidance. What is reality? Then when I get guidance with the Guru or the Shastra or the Upanishad or the Brahma Sutra or the Bhagavad Gita, it tells me, no, this is not reality. Brahman is the reality. Bhagavan is the reality. Satchidananda is the reality. That is your reality. Then there's a doubt. Oh, I'm not able to experience that. When that's how the journey starts, then there's an effort, conscious effort to move towards the reality. And this effort to distinguish between real and unreal is called Viveka. The ability to say this is unreal and this is real. Just like when you go to a mental hospital, you can clearly make a distinction. Okay, this is madness, what this person is doing. And I am not like that. I am sane. This is right and this is wrong. This is Satya, this is Mithya. This distinction is called, this ability to distinguish is called Viveka. And the entire purpose, teaching of Vedanta is to enable you to distinguish between what is real and what is unreal. Any doubt?
So is it good to carry on with experiencing the reality?
Just like an actor, see, an actor, he's given a role. Okay, when he has to play the role, he knows that it's unreal. The knowledge that the role is unreal, does that hinder him from doing his performance?
Sorry, say it again, please.
There is Mr. Rajni. He has to perform a role of Raja. And Raja is a drunkard, Gunda. Okay. The knowledge that I am Rajni, the reality is I am Rajni, but I have to play the role of Raja. Play the role means practically change my behavior, action, everything. Okay. Go into a different environment. The knowledge of the truth that I am Rajni, does that hinder my performance as Raja?
No, it doesn't hinder.
Does it hinder or enable? It enables him to do better.
No.
Since nothing is happening to me, no matter what happens to the role, once the shot is over, I go back to my true self. Right? The knowledge I am Brahman. If I am Brahman, then you will be able to play any role in the best possible way. That is the life of Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna plays multiple roles effortlessly. Just because he knows the reality, does he run away from what is seen, what is projected? He is immersed in what is seen and what is projected. The only difference is he doesn't take it to be real, no matter what happens.
Krishnaji, alternatively,
Huh.
if you get disinterested, what happens? And it's all Maya, and then if you get disinterested in everything, every aspect of the Maya, then
Yeah,
it doesn't allow you to kind of
yeah.
play the role in a way that is acceptable in the Maya world.
So the question of disinterest is still to do with the self-identity. Okay. So the one who says I'm disinterested is also some identity that you have taken to be real. Who is telling I have disinterest? Again, the mind has giving reality to some sort of identity, which is still not the reality. The question is, will the absolute reality have disinterest? What is the answer? Did you get the question? Did you get my question?
Yeah, I did. I think from an absolute reality perspective, I think it doesn't care basically.
The absolute reality. So when you say, what if I get disinterested because of Viveka? The question of disinterest is for a spiritual identity. Okay. That identity also is false. The absolute reality has no question of disinterest. Depending on what the body mind roles that the body mind has to play, the absolute identity will play that. Once there's a recognition that I am the absolute identity. For example, if a grihastha recognizes I am absolute reality, does he become disinterested from grihastha life? So the example we have to look at is Janaka Maharaja. So Janaka Maharaja was in the peak of pleasure and wealth and power. But he had a longing for Atma Gnana. He had a desire to know the truth. Then he meets a master called Ashtavakra, who is much very much younger age than him, but he recognizes this is an enlightened person. And Ashtavakra gives him the teaching of Atma Gnana. And within a few minutes, it was a very short conversation, just in a matter of an hour or so, Janaka Maharaja realizes the absolute. When he realizes, Ashtavakra is able to, based on his speech, based on his responses, Ashtavakra is able to tell that this person has got it. What I'm trying to say, he has understood. Now he has recognized the self and he is established. All within a span of few minutes. Then Ashtavakra questions him. He tests him whether it's real or not. He asks him, now that you have realized you are Brahman, now that you have understood everything is Maya, why do you want to go back to being a king? Will you go back to being a king or will you come with me? He tells him, come with me now, leave everything and come with me. Then Janaka Maharaja calls his bluff. He tells him, if I am Brahman, which I have understood, how does it matter if I'm in the palace or if I'm a monk? Why should I do something exclusive to prove anything? And to whom should I prove that I am Brahman? I alone exist. And what is changing what I'm doing, affecting me in any way? Because Brahman, anyway, it's a projection. Okay, how is me being in the palace going to change? Is it going to make me less Brahman? Just because I drink wine, do I become less Brahman? Whatever is the role to be played by this body mind. Anyway, this body, it's for all the body mind. If the body mind is meant to be in the kingdom, it will be. Tomorrow, for some reason, there's a war and I lose the kingdom. if I come on the street, even that I'll accept. Because I'll be able to accept it because it's that, even that is unreal. But the notion that I have to change something, drop something, leave something, that means that thing, I'm still giving reality to that thing. It is so powerful that I have to drop it. You understand? It's like saying,
no.
it's like saying, you have understood it's a dream. In the dream, does renunciation make any sense? It's like in the dream, you had Prasadji, in the dream, you won a lottery, Euro millions. Okay, 10 millions you won. Then you realize, oh, how can it be 10 millions? Because I am Prasad, I am working here. Then you have memory. This is all unreal, it's a dream. Is it, when you realize it's a dream, does it make sense to renounce the 10 million? Anyway, it's a dream. That question of renunciation is also part of the dream. So the one who renounces is still giving reality to the renounced.
Understood. Yeah, I think that's very, very powerful state. Yeah, understood.
The moment you say, I don't want, that means it's real.
Correct. Yeah.
So the one who is really has Viveka, has real Vairagya. So it's called Vairagya. Vairagya means, you have to understand Vairagya. Please understand Vairagya. Vairagya does not mean renunciation. Because to renounce, what does renunciation mean? Renunciation means I have to give up. If I have to give up, it should be real. It's like I come and tell, I ask you, please donate. You tell, take it. What is that? London Bridge is yours. Can you do that?
I think I can do, because nobody cares. Nobody really knows the reality.
It has no value because it's not yours. It doesn't belong to you. Okay, so renunciation is like that. Somebody says, I'm renouncing the world, as if the world belongs to them. Okay, first you're telling, I'm renouncing my body, as if the body belongs to you. I'm renouncing my family, as if it belongs to you. Everything is there in existence. Then you claim ownership. Then you're giving reality to it. The moment you say, I renounce, you're giving reality to it. That is not renunciation. That is not Vairagya. So what is Vairagya? You have to understand. Vairagya is a byproduct of Viveka. Okay? Vairagya is Raga. Raga means attachment. Okay? Raga and Dvesha. Raga means pull. Dvesha means push. Raga means pull towards. Dvesha means I don't want. Raga means I want. Dvesha means I don't want. Vairagya means I want the highest. Okay? Rather, I perceive the highest. Because of Viveka, now I'm able to see through and only perceive the highest. It's a internal experience, anubhuti. It has nothing to do with the external action. So that is why the greatest of the greatest and the richest person, like Janaka, can be the greatest Vairagi. Because he's untouched, unperturbed by anything physical. Simply because he doesn't associate reality with it. Not because he's saying, oh, I don't want all this. Whether he says I want or don't want, both the times he's giving reality. The moment he has taken on a stance that Brahman is real, then there's no question of whether the wealth is real. Okay? Brahman is real. I'm not going to say wealth is real or unreal. I'm only going to say what is real. Brahman is real. If wealth is there, it's there. If wealth is not there, it's not there. It has no connection with me. It doesn't touch me in any way. But when it is there, if I say I don't want it, then I'm giving reality to wealth.
Understood. Okay. Yeah, sure.
That is not Vairagya. So Krishna is the highest, greatest Vairagi. If there is wealth, still his focus is, his compass is pointing to Brahman. If there is war, still his compass is pointing to Brahman. It has nothing to do with the projection.
Mm.
Moment
Yeah, I
you try
think
to
you are right. I
understand
think
it, so the popular world notion is somebody who gives up an object is renunciate. Arey yaar, somebody who gives up an object is giving reality to an object. That object is already has hold over him. He is a slave of that object. Okay.
correct. Yeah, I understood.
Same thing happened with Shankaracharya. Adi Shankaracharya is a young boy, 5-year-old or 6-year-old or 8-year-old, I don't know, very young boy. He leaves his house. He renounces his house. He wants to take sannyasa and he wants to do service to the world. He goes in search of a Sadguru. He finds his Sadguru, is Govinda Padacharya. He recognizes him and he tells him, give me sannyasa. Okay. Sannyasa means officially you are now a renunciate. It's a tagline. It's a way of life. Then Govinda Padacharya, when he sees the boy, immediately he gives him sannyasa. Take it. That means he cuts him off all his duties from society and you can now full-time focus on Brahman. Everybody who's present there, all his disciples, they are shocked. You're giving sannyasa to a child who doesn't even understand what is sannyasa. What is he renouncing that you are giving him sannyasa? Sannyasa means renunciation. What is this boy renouncing? What does he have to renounce? Why are you giving him sannyasa? The notion here is Shankaracharya is already a sannyasi because his mind is already focused on what is Brahman. Okay, that is just a formal transaction for the world. But who can understand what is running in Shankaracharya's head? His head is completely purified of objectification, giving reality to object. At that age, the mind is already focused on Brahman. Whether Govinda Pajas gives him sannyasa or not is immaterial to him. It's just a external transaction. His mind is already focused on Brahman. And that is why Shankaracharya told, Yogaratova Bhogaratova. It doesn't matter whether you are in yoga or bhoga. If you're in yoga, to prove to the world I have Viveka, then you are still stuck because you're giving reality to yoga. Yoga means sadhana. What are you giving reality to is the question. If you are giving reality to Brahman, you are a sannyasi of the highest order. You are a renunciate of the highest order. But if you have renounced externally objects, then that means the objects still have a hold on you. That means there is a deep notion that the object is real. It's very similar to a person in the dream renouncing the dream money, knowing that it's a dream money. So Vairagya is compass pointing to Brahman. And just so it happens, just because your compass is pointing to Brahman, your mind doesn't move towards unreality. That's all. Is renunciation clear?
It is very clear, Guruji. Thank you so much.
It has nothing absolutely whatsoever to do with the external. It has nothing to do with identity. It has nothing to do with role. It has nothing to do with any dress or change in external situation. But it may so happen, just because So the problem that is happening is of manifestation of enlightenment in different people. So when certain individuals reach the highest, depending on their circumstances, their external life, responsibilities, role, they start behaving in a certain way. And that becomes popular. It's like this. You see somebody, it's exactly like this. You see somebody on LinkedIn or social media, Facebook or Instagram. This person is in the 30s or 40s. Okay. And he doesn't have a job. He is always traveling. Okay. Enjoying life, eating at restaurants every day, meeting many people, and always posting things like, don't be a slave of 9 to 5 job, go out, explore the world. Okay. Now people see that and they feel miserable about their life. They start thinking, I should be doing that. Okay. But they don't understand that that person has some 10 crores in his bank account from his father. There is some background that he or she has. Maybe he's from a very wealthy family. Okay. That is not seen. There is something that is not seen that is enabling his lifestyle. Because obviously that lifestyle is unsustainable. It cannot happen magically without money. That means that person has a stream already coming from somewhere which you don't understand. And that is covered. The person is covering it and filling you with all nonsense. And many people suffer looking at these people. Okay. This is the whole mental crisis right now, mental health crisis now in the world. People talk about mental health now. And social media is the problem, because you're always looking at other people's life as they show it to you. They do not show what is enabling that. Okay. You're always looking at the end. You're not looking at what is enabling that end. Same thing happens in spirituality. We always read stories about all these people. Somebody became enlightened, somebody is living like this. Ramana Maharshi is living in ashram, somebody is living in the mountain. But is that life? You don't question. How are they sustaining? How are they enabling it? Buddha was doing that. Buddha left the palace because he always can come back to the palace. Buddha he left the palace. If something goes wrong, he can always come back to the palace. They'll be more than happy to welcome him. Somebody looks at Buddha, they also really leave their house, but when he comes back, will it work out? No. Right? This is so people think that you look at people like Buddha, people renunciate and come back, then they live a life. It's all very personal journey. Every journey is personal. The moment you start matching your journey with somebody else's journey, then it's a big problem. And the moment you do it for enlightenment, it's the biggest problem, because enlightenment has nothing to do with external journey. You understand? So you have a desire for wealth. The beauty is find an enlightened person who's wealthy. So then there's a match, both external and internal. You have a desire for wealth. You don't want to renounce it. Then connect to Krishna. Don't connect to Buddha. Okay, Krishna has wealth and he's in the highest. Wherever you are, find that kind of a role model. You understand? Somebody is already a sannyasi, meaning somebody has already taken a ashrama of sannyasa. Then a sannyasi Sadguru is better for him. Okay, it's a role model. Now you are a grihastha. Okay, your ideal should be who?
A grihastha, enlightened Sadguru.
That's all. So what is the question of renunciation then?
Understood. Yeah.
You have a role model who has not done that. Right. You have the person that your master is, who's experiencing the highest, which is, and the experience of the highest is same for anybody, whether somebody is a beggar externally, or a king like Janaka, or Ramana Maharshi who is in the ashram, or Mata Amritanamai who hugs all the people over the world, or somebody else who's sitting in the mountain, provided he or she is established. The realization is the same. There is no difference in the realization, but their expressions is because of the role that they're playing.
Understood.
Now, your job is to give reality to the realization, not to the expression. You understand?
Hmm.
So if somebody takes Shankaracharya as the ideal, give reality to the gnana that he has of what Brahma Satya Jagan Mithya. But if that person starts worshipping Shankaracharya, starts taking on, oh, I should also become like Shankaracharya, I should also die at 33, I should also write commentaries on this thing, then he's taking an identity. So Shankaracharya played a role. He's giving more reality to the role that Shankaracharya played rather than the realization that Shankaracharya has. So don't give reality to the role, give reality to the realization. Don't give reality to the role that Krishna played. That was what he played, and he himself didn't give it. The problem is the enlightened one himself is not giving reality to the role.
Correct. Correct.
Then people start thinking, oh, enlightenment means I should be able to sing like Krishna. I should be able to come up with all war strategies. I should be able to lift the mountain with my finger. That is not enlightenment. What Krishna is really is, he's giving, even if he lifts the mountain, it's unreal to him. If you're able to give unreality to that, you're also Krishna then. If you are able to say Brahma Satya Jagan Mithya, you're Shankaracharya. But then people start giving reality to the external. Then they get trapped. There's a Sadguru who is teaching. Okay. Then you still start telling, oh, if I become enlightened, I should also be able to teach. That ability to teach is part of Maya. It's unreality. You understand?
Mm-hmm. Understood. Yeah.
Focus on the realization, not on the external. So Vairagya is this. Vairagya is internal. It has nothing to do with external. Vairagya has to do with Viveka. It's Vairagya without Viveka is not Vairagya. It's madness. Delusion. It's like there were two drunkards. Okay. The first drunkard is saying, I want to be strong. So so strong that I should be able to move the wall. Okay. So what I did, I drank 10 glasses of milk, because my mother told, if you drink milk, you'll get strength. I drank 10 glasses of milk and tried to push the wall. The wall did not move. Then the second drunkard laughed. He tells, silly boy, instead of drinking 10 glasses of milk, you should have had 10 glasses of whiskey. Then the wall itself would move. You didn't have to put any effort. The wall itself would move. You understand? You focus on the right, put your mind in the right place, then the world itself will disappear. Don't focus on making the world disappear or running away from the world. Focus on Brahman. Focus on the truth. The untruth will go by itself. It's like when you get $1 million, you will not, let's say you have 10 bank accounts. Okay, every bank account has you moved from India to some other country. From a long time ago, you have one old Indian bank account which has some money left. Okay, then you win Euro millions. Will you ever bother about that bank account? You have now the greatest of the greatest wealth. Your mind will never move to the small. Understand? And that non-movement of the mind towards the lower is called as Vairagya. Simply because now the mind has Vishesha Raga on the Euro million. You have Vishesha Raga for the higher. Raga means attachment. Vairagya means Vishesha Raga, higher attachment. Then the inference is your mind doesn't move to the lower. But if you put it to practice, if you run away from the lower without getting the higher, then there's a problem.
Understood.
Vairagya is a result of Viveka.
Yeah, no, it was a very clear, Guruji. Yeah, thanks for that. It was a bit confusing, I think. Yeah, it was good.
So that means that somebody, just because somebody takes sannyasa, will not get Atma Gnana. Just because you do what the Gnani is doing, you will not get the if you replicate, if you imitate the action, it's like there's a scientist, let's say Einstein. He's possessed by the idea of reality, and he's so close to that revelation. He's so close, his mind is so focused, he's not able to eat, he's not able to go to work, so go to home, he's not able to keep his body, he's not able to comb his hair. And then one night he gets it. Okay. Now somebody looks at this and starts imitating him. They stop combing their hair. They stop eating. Just because they stop doing it, will they get the formula? What is the requirement for them to get a formula?
To work on it.
To be possessed by it, right? And the byproduct of possession is you ignore certain things. Okay, so you have to be possessed by Brahman. Then, because of as a byproduct of that, a lot of things will naturally stop in your life, simply because they're unnecessary. Life has a lot of, whether you want it or not, clutter. Okay, simply look at your house. How much of what is in your house you require? Right? There'll be so many things. Now, let's say you're traveling. What you do when you're traveling, you take a bag and you put all that is necessary. Only what is necessary. Okay? Or let's say there's a fire in the house. Immediately you'll only think of few things. Maybe your papers, maybe some money, maybe some gold. Everything else you're okay to burn. You only look at the few key objects. Right? So that is what is called, immediately you get Vairagya to the other things that are not necessary. So that's what happens typically in Atma Gnana. Person who is focused on Brahman has a natural tendency not to move towards unnecessary things. But what is necessary, what is unnecessary, depends on the situation that that person is. If that person is a politician, everything becomes necessary. Okay? Playing the role becomes necessary. If Janakamara is the highest, he will not renounce interaction, public relations. Because all that is part of the role. It's necessary for the role. Okay? But that doesn't, his compass is always pointing towards the north. Does that make sense?
I think that reminds me of a saying somewhere I read. I think somewhere I read. Seek what the ancient people sought, not their path.
Not their path.
Yeah, not their path. So it's very clear now. Yeah, from what you explained.
Seek what they sought, which is they sought reality.
Reality, yeah.
But don't try to imitate. And the problem is people have many delusions, right, of enlightenment or what is the end. So enlightenment means I have to have a certain lifestyle, which is not true. Enlightenment means I have to not eat certain kind of food, which is not true. Enlightenment means I have to leave my family, renounce my responsibility, which is not true. Enlightenment has nothing to do with anything external. Enlightenment is a result of Atma Gnana, the teaching of enlightenment. Okay? And the teaching of enlightenment is the process of Shravana, hearing the teaching. This is the dilemma of Arjuna also. Arjuna has heard about all the rishis and saints. And the very first thing that he asks says in the chapter 1 is, I want to renounce. I want to renounce my role and I want to go to the forest. Krishna tells him that enlightenment has nothing to do with renouncing. Okay? He gives him clarity, he gives him Atma, what is enlightenment. Then Arjuna tells at the end, in the 18th chapter, now I understand, Krishna, what is enlightenment. Now I will perform my action. So enlightenment is recognizing the reality, going back to the role. If you're changing the role, that means you're giving reality to the role.
Understood. Yeah.
Any doubts? Sonali,
That was super clear.
संन्यास समझ में आ गया? तो कौन सन्यासी है, कौन वैरागी है, ये बोलना बहुत मुश्किल है, क्योंकि हम बाहर से देख के नहीं बोल सकते. कोई एक आदमी है, वो सन्यास का ड्रेस पहना हुआ है, पर अंदर वो सबको रियलिटी दे रहा है. धन को रियलिटी दे रहा है, मन को रियलिटी दे रहा है, देह को रियलिटी दे रहा है. राइट? वो सन्यासी नहीं है. पर कोई आदमी हो सकता है वो उसे आत्मज्ञान हो गया है, पर बाहर कुछ चेंज नहीं है, सिर्फ वो शांत हो गया है, बाहर जीवन जैसा है वैसा ही है. तो ये this notion of change of the external is still giving reality to the external. But having said that, like I told you, there could be some people, there could be some cases, use cases, where in the case of Buddha, for example, he left the kingdom, and even after enlightenment, he didn't go back to the kingdom, simply because he took a different responsibility. In fact, after he became enlightened, he lived more like a king. If he went back to his kingdom, he would only be the king of that place. But after enlightenment, he became the king of kings. All the kings from all surrounding places became his disciple. Okay, but people look at it in a different way. People start thinking, oh, he's wearing a robe, he became a monk, he became a beggar. That was what he thought was required at that time. Okay, Vairagya simply means understanding what is reality. Simply because I understand what is reality, my mind doesn't move towards unreality. But I play my role. I have a role to play. I play the role as if it's just a role, like an actor playing the role without getting affected by the role. Any other doubts? So what is reality? The reality is Brahman. Brahman alone. And what is Brahman? Is pure awareness, consciousness. Brahman is real. Whatever is seen, whatever is perceived through the senses, whatever images, mental images, thought, feeling, emotion, memory the mind creates, all are unreal. Okay? They are unreal. They are exactly like a dream. In the dream, you see a world, you see people, you have a role, you perform actions, but it is unreal. But the only problem is you recognize the unreality of the dream after you come out of the dream. Mukti is being in the dream and knowing it is a dream. Now, when you know it is a dream, that doesn't make you change anything in the dream, because anyway it's a dream. The notion that I have to change the dream is giving reality to the dream. That is exactly why, let's say somebody goes with a script to Mr. Rajani and tells him, you have to play the role of Raja. Raja is a gunda. Okay, he kills people, he behaves like this, he talks in foul language, he eats meat, he does this, he smokes, he drinks. Does Mr. Rajani say, no, all this is not nice. Make Raja a king. Make him live in a palace. Does he do that? No, then the director say, no, that is not the movie. This movie is about something else. Okay. Since Rajani knows who he is, he doesn't interfere with the character. Whatever is the requirement, he will play the role. He doesn't go to change the story. So when you recognize the truth, Brahma Satya, Jagat Mithya, you realize you are Sakshi to the dream. And as Sakshi, you are more spontaneous, you are more aware in the dream. The dream has no more hold on you. The impositions of others' thoughts and emotion has no more hold on you. You live an unperturbed, peaceful life. Now, that also means that you will not perform your role. You are Sakshi, you become a Sakshi to the role, wherever you are, whatever you are, however you are, you start doing better and better in that. Okay, simply because you're no longer, the dreams has no longer a hold on you. You're free from the unrealities. Right now, you feel stuck in life, stuck with desire, stuck with memory, stuck with past, because you've given reality to all of them. The moment you say all of that is unreal, the desire to change it also disappears. Then there's a natural beauty that flows through the body and mind, a spontaneous energy that flows through the body and mind that takes care of everything that is required to take care of that role. And that is what happens in enlightenment. In enlightenment, for the enlightened being, whatever is required to be taken care of for the role is taken care of. It may so appear that person is doing it deliberately, but that person doing also is still happening to that person, because he or she no longer associates, gives reality to anything, including the role. Any doubts? Bina?
Yeah, I had one doubt. So that time you talked about using the mind to move towards Brahman. So many a times I feel that, like, even today when I was doing the practice, I told that I felt that the star was talking to me.
Hmm.
So that is again a creation of the mind, right? So should we continue, I mean, to engage in such mind-made illusions to, in our sadhana, or should we just drop it off?
So two things. First thing is, what you experience today is not creation of the mind. It is real. Second thing, what should I do? Right, that's the second part of the question. First part is clear.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
fabrication of the mind. It is called intervention by the divine.
Mhm.
So how do you say something is fabrication of the mind or something is real?
It's very hard to distinguish, I feel,
It's very easy to
because
do.
even when we pray to God, like in the puja room, we sometimes I feel that the mind is itself is creating the notion that, God is talking back to you or answering your prayers.
So first thing you need to understand is the mind is a bundle of multiple thoughts, various tendencies, impressions for lifetimes, dream, layers and layers of dream. Okay. Now from that pool of garbage, whenever you get a thought of Guru or God, so that's why Ramana Maharshi said, whenever you are thinking of God, please understand God is thinking of you. You cannot think of God. If you think of God, if you do smarana, it's called smarana. Smarana means I think of God. Suddenly you think of God. You suddenly think I have to go to a holy place. You suddenly think I have to go to temple. You suddenly think I have to pray. You cannot do it. Because how in that pool of garbage something about the higher comes? It is because of the grace of the higher. So
Okay.
whenever you get a thought about Bhagwan, Bhagwan is thinking about you. Okay, that is thought. Then it goes deeper. That is next level. First level is that whenever you think of God, know that Bhagwan is thinking about you. Second thing, you experience something pure, something divine. You have some insight, or you have some revelation, or you have some understanding, which is called Atma Gnana. You have some moment of clarity. That is the next level. You're more, the divine has interfered more in you. Okay? Where still the mind is active because you're forming ideas, higher ideas,
Right.
still forming ideas. Then the next level, where you experience, you have it's called anubhuti. It's not anubhava. Anubhava is experience. There is anubhuti where you become silent. You don't feel individual anymore. You feel infinite, as if you're in space. You feel light. You feel transported. Even if you want, you're not able to recollect suffering. Okay? That is called samadhi. Momentary. But that samadhi is when God has embraced you. Thought of God is, when you think of God, God is thinking about you. Then you have desire to something more. You have some insight. Then God is shedding light, spotlight on you. Like you're on the stage, there's a spotlight, no? To focus on you. Then God is focusing on you. When you hit samadhi, because how samadhi happens? Because of the guru's teaching.
Yeah.
Or because you're in a Tirtha Kshetra, you're in a holy place, that energy captivates you.
Yeah.
Or because of inquiry, you inquire, you do self-inquiry. Samadhi is Bhagavan embracing you. Okay, that is also temporary. That is not the mind, because that transforms the mind. Whatever is the mind itself doesn't transform the mind, because you've stepped out of the mind.
Yeah.
Understand? Is mind there that time?
No.
You stepped out of the mind. But then the mind comes back. Okay, because it's not permanent. Permanent is Atma, where the mind doesn't come back. But this repeated embrace with Bhagavan slowly transforms the mind. At one point, the mind dissolves in the embraced. So this is called, in the language of Bhakti, it's called Salokya, Sarupya, Samipya, and Sayujya. Salokya means first experience is you're in the loka of Bhagavan. Okay?
Mhm.
And this is not physical, it is psychological, mental. So because of your association with the Guru and Satsang, immediately you're transported to the loka, Brahma loka. Immediately. It's like teleportation. Wherever you are, Krishna is on the battlefield, but he's in Brahma loka because of Krishna. Sorry, Arjuna is in the battlefield. Okay? But where is Arjuna? He's transported because Krishna is giving him Atmagna. Salokya.
Yeah.
Salokya also means that in a physical sense, to be in the presence of Sadguru or Satsang. It's called Salokya. Now you're in the loka of the divine. Salokya. It could be temple also, a holy place.
Yeah.
You go there. You're in that loka now. You're no longer in Bhuloka. Salokya. And Salokya transforms you.
Yeah.
So people go to the temple and come back as if all their problems are solved. Right? Because they had a communication with the higher. Right? You go meet, sit in the presence of the master, come back, you're transformed. Something has happened, something has changed. Salokya.
Yeah.
Then that Salokya, next stage is Samipya. Samipya is you're not only in the loka, but you're more closer to the divine. You can feel as if you're no longer in the Tirtha Kshetra, you're no longer in the temple, you're no longer in the Sadguru's presence. Wherever you are, you feel as if that place or that person is close to you. It's called Samipya. Has that happened to you?
Yeah, actually, I asked this question because I recently had a experience. Like, I'm living in Udupi right now, and one of my mom has been attending satsangs of a particular guru.
Okay.
And he had come to Udupi, and he had come to our house, and there was a satsang at our house.
Yeah.
And she has been into the path of bhakti for a very long time, and I was never a part of that. Like, I used to pray to God, but I'd never seen the guru.
Yeah.
But when I was when near his presence, and he just touched my head on the top of my head, and he just blessed me. And even after he left the house, the next day I had some kind of experience that I'm not able to describe it, and it was a very divine experience.
So Salokya is you going to God's world.
Yeah.
Samipya is God coming to your world.
So for a moment, it there was a slight doubt whether it was the games of the mind or was it real. I really felt that divine experience, that I could feel his presence even after he had left. So
Yeah.
For me, it was very difficult to accept because I was never into the path of bhakti like my mother.
Yeah.
I never was a devotee of him or prayed to him anytime.
So it is not the game of the mind. Salokya, Samipya, Sarupya, Sayujya has nothing to do with the mind. It is transformation of the mind.
Mhm.
Okay. So I gave you example. Salokya, to be in the presence of a guru. The guru is no mind. Okay. Guru is beyond the mind. Guru is no ego, no identity, no mind. Guru is Guru Sakshat Parabrahma. So the presence of such a master
Mm.
is Salokya. It's not mind. It's not a game of the mind. In fact, even if your mind comes up, it gets destroyed in the presence of the master. Like how you take a piece of ice cube, and take it near fire. What happens to the ice cube? It
It
melts.
just melts, yeah.
Same thing happens to your mind in front of the master. Okay? The thought process melts, it dies down. Because you cannot, the master will inquire, question.
Mm.
And the mind is like a thief. The moment you question, the thief will run away.
Yeah.
Salokya. Then Samipya. Samipya is the divine entering your world. And it could be physical, but mostly it is internal. You have always a feeling that so what's happening is mind is constantly throwing thoughts about the teachings that you received.
Yeah.
You're interacting with the world, somebody says something, immediately you'll regret, oh, I'm not the doer.
Yeah.
Okay, that is Samipya. Guru is interfering, okay, through teaching, through memory. Then Sarupya. Now the mind takes on the divine form because it's so possessed by the divine. Whatever it's possessed by, if it's possessed by the guru or the Ishtadevata, whatever is the object of possession or subject of, or the divinity of possession, that form the mind will take. So if somebody is Ayadya Devata is guru, that person will take the root, the person's mind will take rupa of guru. Okay. If somebody's Aradhya Devata is Devi, that person will start, the body mind will start behaving that way. Meaning more compassion will flow, love will flow, blessings will flow.
Yeah.
Whatever you adore, you become. That's all. The principle is what you adore, you become. Somebody adores a terrorist, they become a terrorist. Somebody adores knowledge, they become knowledgeable. Whatever you adore, whatever is your role model, you will become that. Somebody adores some ideal of some person, some politician, they'll become like that. They'll start behaving like that, talking like that. That's what you see, no? All these, anywhere you see many people in some company, you look at the top leadership, they will always be, their role models will be other innovators. They're always talking like innovators because their role model is an innovator. Right? Whatever you worship, you become. So what do you worship? Whatever you worship, you will become. That quality will come into you. That is called Sarupya. Then finally, Sayujya. Sayujya is the practice that Sayujya is actually Atma Gnana. There's no practice for Sayujya. But to help the mind take a leap, we did that practice today. And Sayujya is the mind loses its individuality completely. And now there is no more me and Bhagwan. There is Bhagwan alone. In Salokya, Samipya, Sarupya, there is me and Bhagwan. In Sayuja, there is no more me. Bhagwan alone exists. If Salokya is being in the, I'm taking the example of Sadguru. Salokya is being in the presence of the Sadguru. Samipya is Sadguru coming in your life as Grana. Sarupya is you becoming like Guru. You start becoming, not that you will go and teach people, maybe you, if there is their opportunities there, you will do that, but you will start teaching your mind. You will take the internal stand as Guru and correct your intellect wherever is required. Sayuja is the ignorance disappears. Now the Guru alone operates through your body mind. That means all the thoughts that you will get are Guru's thoughts. You only get thoughts, the kind of thoughts that Guru would have. You would only do actions, the kind of action that the Guru would do. Without, there's no thinking, it just spontaneously happens. This is Salokya, Samipya, Sarupya, Sayujya. And this is not a game of the mind. This is exiting from all the games of the mind. Because it's a intervention from the divine. It's called grace.
Okay.
Any doubts?
I could relate to, like when you said the mind, when it is possessed by something, becomes like that. So in the presence of the Guru, I did feel that, because the Guru whom I mentioned, he's a devotee of Devi, like Adi Parashakti. I mean, I have not attended much of his satsangs, but when in his presence, I did feel that there was an overflowing love and compassion that he had for everybody in the room. And though he was a male, but I did feel that there was a mother, like the Divine Mother. I could feel that so much love, so much compassion was there in him. And yeah, even after the next day also, I did feel his presence. So I was really confused, or there was a doubt in my mind whether it is the mind is creating it or was it for real.
Yeah. So what is it?
Yeah, I think it was real, because there was no mind for that few minutes. There was a state of no mind.
Okay, clear?
Yeah.
Any doubts? Anybody else? So, what is the way of Atmanjnana? What is the way out of suffering? The key requirement is association with the divine. Until that happens, it's impossible. And that association is in the highest sense is association with the realized master. Otherwise, you do not come out of your dreams. You go deeper and deeper and deeper into dreams. So that's why all the scriptures talk about association, satsanga, association with the right kind of people. Okay, so somebody is in poverty. The person's circle is only miserable people. If he or she has to come out of that, he needs some way to associate. Now, why would somebody who is rich associate with somebody like that? That is only grace. There is no way this person can go there. Okay, some intervention has to come because of seeking. Okay, that intervention, that association with the Guru comes as grace. That is the grace. That is the highest final grace that the existence can give upon you. There's no more grace. If you think grace means I'll become rich, I'll become popular, I'll become healthy, I'll become this, I'll become that, that is not grace. That is actually curse. Grace is association with the enlightened, living enlightened. Okay, that association brings everything. To give you my example, until a decade ago, I didn't know any of this. Okay, completely lost in many games. No idea of, I didn't even know Sanskrit. I didn't even know what is Brahman. Never heard the word called Brahman. Right? Never heard the word called awareness, consciousness. Then one association with Sadhguru opened up everything. Then I understood, oh, there are some people called enlightened people. Then there is, I didn't even know somebody called Ramana Maharshi existed or Ramakrishna existed. In that one association, whatever my guru knew, I came to know. You understand? It's like a poor person doesn't understand. He's struggling for 10 rupees. The moment he understands, he talks to a rich person, then he understands something called as investments, something called as land, something called as principle of compound interest, something called as business. All that is there, but this person has no clue about it. Suddenly, a close association reveals everything, and it reveals in abundance. It's like suddenly you open a door where everything floods on you. That's what happens. That's what happened in my case, and that's what happens in everybody's case. The things that you didn't know existed now starts becoming real. That is the highest grace of Ishvara, of totality. That is the beginning and that is the end. It opens up everything. You come to know, and you come to know in its true form. Otherwise, in search of enlightenment, people get lost. You can meet the wrong master, you can get the wrong teaching, okay, wrong practices, where you start reinforcing wrong things. To get the right association is extremely difficult, and you cannot get it. It has to happen to you. That's why when you are ready, the guru comes. Otherwise, you cannot, there's no way you can find a guru. Okay, you can go to a holy place, but you cannot get the holy place to come to you. So association, and that association needs to be, the focus there needs to be Atma Gnana, the contemplation on the absolute, not dwelling into any other discussions, focusing on the highest teaching. That in that environment, what happens is the teaching happens and Shravana happens. Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasa. Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasa leads to Aporoksha Anubhuti, Atma Gnana, Jivan Mukti. This is the only way. There's no other way. If there's any other way, please tell me. I'd also like to know. सोनाली जी, any doubts? समझ में आ गया जो कुछ भी मैं बोला? Not only in spirituality, in any aspect of life, if you need to transcend from where you are to something higher, you need association with the higher. Okay? Pallavi, any doubts?
No, Krishna.
Yeah. So you can feel free to, this you can do as a practice, which is connecting to the cosmos. Eventually that will lead to what is called as Savikalpa Samadhi, experience of Bhagavan, totality.
Krishna ji, I did a few times, like sometimes I do. I'm not very regular in doing this meditation. After a few days, I get bored.
After you get bored with meditation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So meditation has nothing to do with enlightenment. Right? Okay. Because meditation has nothing to do with enlightenment. Meditation is called dhyana. Dhyana is sitting for some time, becoming a witness. The key is the teaching that I am Sakshi, the gnana that I am Sakshi. When you hold on to the gnana more, spontaneous meditation happens without any effort. The mind doesn't move. Okay, that is called real meditation. It happens spontaneously, not as a practice, but as a outcome of gnana.
Okay, my mind moves so much, a lot.
It's your mind. You have a mind.
Okay, it's not my mind.
Okay, no, it's not okay. It's not mine. Do you understand how it is not your mind? If it is your mind, you can tell it not to move, right? Can you tell it not to move? That means it's not your mind. What is the meaning of telling it's my mind? So you say my mind, I say my mind. That means to say you have no control of my mind and I have control of my mind. But do you have control of your mind? Like you tell, no, in the house, this is my car, this is my husband's car. This car I have full control of. Okay, you need to ask me before you can use it. Is that the case with mind? Do you have control over it? Then what is it? Whose is it?
Yeah, everything is spontaneously happening.
Mind.
I don't want to get carried away by that, but
so mind is unreal. You will stop giving reality to the mind when you start giving reality to consciousness. Mind is like the movie, but the reality is the screen. Okay? The only utility of meditation is it stops the movie for some time so that you can see the screen. Okay? Once you see the screen, movie is there or not there doesn't matter. You know that the screen is real. You understand? So Brahman is real. That you arrive at however you want. You can either arrive at by telling, okay, because my guru said so, Brahman is real, Brahman is real. Over, no more questions asked. Or because Bhagavad Gita says Brahman is real, Brahman is real. However you arrive there, it doesn't matter. You take some strength from something, either guru or shastra or something, or your own intelligence, and say, Brahman is real. There is no doubt about that. And Brahman is consciousness. And consciousness, I am consciousness. I am not the body mind, I am consciousness. Put a full stop to it. Mind is unreal. Because Brahman is real. Now what is the question? Now it doesn't matter what mind does. Whatever mind does, tell Brahman is real. The problem is whenever you're complaining about the mind, you're giving reality to the mind. Whenever you're complaining, I cannot meditate, you're giving reality to the boredom. Stop giving reality to unreal things. So that is why a person who gives reality to unreal things is called
Mad.
So stop being mad. You are not mad. You are divine. Stop giving reality to unreal things. Stop making statements like my mind, my body, I did something, I shouldn't have done that, memory, okay? Desire. Desire means what? For something else. That means you're giving reality to something. Stop giving reality to anything apart from God. Bhagavan alone. And that is why, please don't think Sanatana Dharma is, that's why ancestors are so mature and intelligent. Although they know Bhagavan is formless, they created so many forms. Okay? So you start giving reality to that. Because it's easier to give reality to something that has a form. Okay? They created Krishna, image for Rama, Hanuman, Ganesha. And not just that, put that in your house. Okay? Now what you have in your house? What photo you have in your house? People mostly have photos of themselves. Family photo. Giving reality to unreality. One big photo of myself, especially celebrities. Have you seen? Have you gone to a celebrity house? You've seen interview with somebody, you've seen any celebrity house. There'll be one big picture of themselves. They're giving so much reality to themselves, their image. Same thing that happened to one king, a prince called I don't know, is it narcissist? Have you heard the word called narcissist? Narcissist comes from a prince. His name was, I think, Narcissist or something equivalent to that. What happened was he was extremely beautiful, handsome, very beautiful. And he didn't know that because there was no mirror at that time. But that one day he goes near a pond and he sees his reflection. The moment he sees his reflection, he is in love with the reflection. He doesn't want to move from there. So he doesn't move anywhere. And he dies because he does not eat, he does not do anything. From that, the word narcissist came. So narcissists are people who are obsessed with themselves. Okay? So what that person gave reality to the image. In giving reality to that image, he killed himself. So what are you giving reality to? Don't give reality to the mind. Don't give reality to anything that is off track with Shastras or the teachings of Guru. That is why it's called Upanishad. All the teachings that we have, the source teaching is called Upanishad. Sarvopanishado gao dogda gopal nandanaha patho vatsa sudir bhokta dugdam gitamritam mahat. So the Bhagavad Gita is an extract of the Upanishad. So all the spiritual teachings in India are only in some way extract of the Upanishad. So give reality to the Upanishad statements. What is the Upanishad statement? I am Atma Brahma. Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma. Pragnanam Brahma. So in my Guru's house, what he had done was the first entrance door, right? There's a gate and you enter to the door. The main door had a sticker, Pragnanam Brahma. Every wall had a sticker of Upanishad statement. Okay, you go to the basement. There was a big poster of the teachings of Atma. You go to his puja room. There is the teaching. I am not the body. I am not the mind. I am not the intellect. I am pure consciousness. What is on your wall? So, make your mind align with the divine, the Upanishad. Make your mind align with the Guru. Make your mind align with the Shastras, Vedanta. This is the only way. Any doubts? So don't give reality to anything unreal. You're simply being insane. So put up a big poster in your house. I am consciousness. Tat Tvamasi. Or whatever you look at most, put it there. In your phone, you look at your phone most, right? Put the teaching there. So constantly, it will remind you. Your attention needs to, you need to teach your conscious mind and subconscious mind. Subconscious mind learns more than from images. Conscious mind learns from listening. Subconscious mind learns from listening and images. That is the beauty of Sanatana Dharma. It gives so much images, so many deities, all so beautiful. There's Shiva, there's Rama, Hanuman, Krishna, Devi, Kartikeya. Okay, the cow. Whatever you look at should remind you of Brahman. Even if you look in the mirror, you should remember Brahman. How? You should remember, just the way my face is reflecting in the mirror, the whole world is reflecting in Brahman. Everything your mind should move to Brahman. It's like there's a mother, no? You're a mother, right? So the mother is attached to the son. After some time, the son leaves abroad to do some studies. Okay, and then he settles there. He doesn't come back. Then whatever the mother looks at, she remembers the son. Oh, my son used to play here. Oh, my son did potty here. Oh, my son used to, this was his favorite meal. Oh, he used to play with this. Everything she sees, it reminds her of the son. Like that, everything that you see, oh, my husband, should remind you of Brahman. Look at a son, should remind you of Brahman. Look at the world, look at the newspaper, should remind you of Brahman. You look at the news, 10 people got killed in this place. You should remember, wow, Brahman plays such Maya. Nothing is happening, and such Maya is there. You understand? So tell me, what is not there in the world that cannot remind you of Brahman? The sky. So Ramakrishna Paramahamsa just walking one day. He was walking, he just lifted his head. He looked at the sky and immediately he dropped into samadhi. For many, many hours, people thought he was unconscious. Okay, they were all worried. But he went into samadhi looking at the sky. Suddenly it reminded him of consciousness, which is infinite. And his mind just shut down. There was a Buddhist practitioner in Japan. It was a lady, she used to carry water in a pot from the river to her hut. One day it was night time, she was carrying it, and she saw the moon was reflected. There was a full moon, and the moon was reflected in the pot. Then it slipped and the pot broke. Okay. Then she looked up, the moon was intact. That moment she got enlightened. Okay. That moment she realized that the moon consciousness is only reflecting in the body. The death of the body does not mean death of consciousness. Then at the moment she became enlightened. And Kali Yuga is the best time to get enlightened. Okay, in Kali Yuga, everything reminds you of Bhagavan because there's so much suffering. Immediately you think about God. The pain should immediately make you think about Bhagavan. There was a war. Oh my God, think about Bhagavan. Kali Yuga is actually the best time for enlightenment. So you're very fortunate. It all depends on what you're giving reality to. And what you will give reality to is what your tendency is. Left to you, you will give reality to the unreal. So that's why the grace happens, the guru comes and helps you to start giving reality to reality. Who helps you, gives Viveka. This is real, this is unreal. There'll come a point where you don't need that support anymore. There'll come a point when your Atma Guru becomes fully awakened. Okay, then you become the Guru. Then you are able to clearly distinguish at any point of time what is real, what is unreal. Any doubts? Anybody? Shall we close? Sonali ji?
जी
समझ में आ गया?
हाँ
तो आप किस विषय को सच दे रही हैं?
मतलब
What are you giving reality to? Are you giving reality to your past? Are you giving reality to the ideas of future? Are you giving reality?
Nothing is real.
Nothing is real. So nothing is real is the second part. What is the first part? Bhagavan is real. Brahman is real. That's why it says Brahma Satya Jagan Mithya. So don't make the statement in isolation. Don't say nothing is real. That is a negative statement.
Okay.
So the statement is divinity, totality. Bhagavan is real. And Bhagavan is everything. Whatever I see, feel, hear, think, Bhagavan is everything. And whatever is happening in my life right now is perfect. Because it's Bhagavan ka ichha. Okay, so man khel khelta hai. Man will tell many things. You have to use your internal strength and guide the mind, telling it cannot be so, because the greatest of the greatest texts, beings, and Sanatana Dharma gives this teaching. So somewhere you have to move with that faith and devotion. Any doubts? Shall we close for the day? Karpura Gauram Karunavataram Samsara Saram भुजगेन्द्रहारं सदा वसन्तं हृदयारविन्दे भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि। त्वमेव माता पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देवदेव। कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैव बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि समर्पयामि। लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु। लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु। हरिः ओम। श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम। My pranams to all. Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.